No matter how old you are or what your social status is, we all need money. And as the money has its own rules, if we want to keep it, we need to play by these rules. Nothing beats the feeling of having a financially stable life. In fact, it's become the goal of a majority of us to achieve such a state. The good news is, it's perfectly possible and you can do it too. However, on the path, there may lay many obstacles and temptations that may distract you from doing that. It's all up to you how strong you'll be, but we want to help you by making you a list of what some of the main money mistakes are that you must avoid at all costs. Number 10. Online shopping. We love the internet. We love to explore new products and services online. We see so many people showing off on social media, fancy bags, brand new phones, and new cars. You're also hit with all the beautiful ads around you. Yes, all that may be a temptation, but you have to learn to control yourself. Just alone, the online shopping might be the major reason why your bank account is always low towards the end of the month, if not in the middle of the month. On the other hand, if you have a strong addiction for online shopping, it may be very hard to quit all at once. Instead, you may try to reduce the amount of money you spend online by setting a budget. Don't exceed that budget, and also try to reduce it more and more as time passes. Number 9. Using credit card too often. A credit card is a great tool for some occasions, but not for everyday life. When you use credit cards in everyday spendings, you may run into a huge amount of debt without even realizing it. Studies have shown that people tend to spend more money when they are paying with credit cards. It's harder to track your expenses when you don't even see the money you're paying. Instead, you may use a debit card. Also, you'll need to budget your expenses so you know exactly how much you're spending on a daily basis. Creating your budget and then subtracting your expenses every day will clearly show you how much you spend. But be careful, it may drive you mad with yourself. Number 8. Borrowing money. You may find yourself in a difficult financial situation and start thinking about finding a way out. One temptation that may arise into your mind is to borrow money from your friends. While in some cases this may actually save you from a crisis, it's not always the best way. Some people really abuse this possibility and end up accumulating a considerable debt. It may also ruin your relationships with your friends. It's a good habit to avoid loaning money from friends. Number 7. Spending money on fast food daily. This perhaps may be the most obvious mistake, a guilty pleasure in fact. Most of us can admit that buying lunch while at work is irresistibly easy, but this habit can actually drain a lot of money, especially if it's done daily. It eventually deprives you from the possibility of saving money for more important things like traveling during the year, and in some cases, even from making a life-changing step. A 2015 survey studying Americans' eating out behavior showed that 72% of Americans usually visit a quick-service restaurant during lunchtime. Shocking, right? Wait till you hear this. Food and drink sales in the United States restaurant industry reached $745.61 billion. Recently, during the pandemic, 5 out of 10 Americans ordered food online. None of us complain about takeout, but when it's done regularly, it's when problems begin. Buying a meal that costs $10 twice a week will cost $1,000 throughout the year. Not mentioning that some people buy meals every single day. This bad habit is easily fixable. In fact, cooking your own meal may be easier than you think. Just watch some of the many delicious recipes online, choose the one that fits you the best, and head to the kitchen. Plus, your cooked meal is more delicious. Number 6. Spending all that you earn. It's just simple math. If you spend all the money you earn, guess what? You guessed it. After you get your salary, try not to rush out buying things. When it comes down to expenses, use your cold mind. Ask yourself, what do you actually need and what can wait? Write down on a piece of paper how much you have and what are all the expenses. In this case, you'll know how much you can expect to have at the end of the month. But if all your expenses are justified and all the things you buy are essential, this leads us to the next money mistake to avoid at all costs. Number 5, having just one source of income. As we discussed before, you may be waiting excitedly for the end of the month just to receive that paycheck. In this way, you can pay for all the things that you need to pay for. Then you realize the paycheck's gone, just like that. Now, imagine having another source of income. As your paycheck pays all your expenses, you'll still have another load of money coming right into your pocket. For many, that may seem like a dream, but it's not as hard as you might imagine. All you need is a little creativity and an entrepreneurial spirit. You may start investing or creating a side hustle. Just look around you. How about you start selling old stuff that you don't need anymore? Or use your secret skill that you thought you'd never need. Look at job offers posted online every day. You may be surprised at what people are looking for. So, what are you waiting for? Start hustling! Number 4, having no emergency fund. Yes, you really need it. According to a recent survey released by the Federal Reserve, 40% of adults admit that they face from time to time unexpected expenses of $400 and have two possibilities. Either they are completely unable to pay, or they feel forced to borrow money to pay it off. Or even worse, they might be forced to sell something that they own. Such reality requires you to deliberately save a certain amount from your income. If the cable TV needs to be cut for several months, you should do so. If it means not eating out or skipping a holiday, you also should do so. You cannot continue to hope that nothing will be exposed to an emergency. And then when it occurs, you resort directly to your credit cards to save you. All this will cause you unwanted stress. Start saving now. Create a bank account where you will deposit a small amount of your income and simply forget about that savings, unless you have to deposit again. Your future self will be very grateful. Number 3, lending money. You may also have friends who yet don't know the money mistakes to avoid, so you may find yourself in a situation where a dear friend asks you for some money. You don't have much choices, but lending your money is a bad habit. Instead, try to help your friends or whoever they are by educating them about the money and its rules. Sharing the knowledge will also help you grow. Number 2, accumulating debt. For too many people, it's just become normal to be in debt. Some will always owe something on their credit cards. Some will owe money to their friends, and others will take out huge loans from finance companies. All these debts might be very expensive. In fact, paying the interest on debts that charge 12% to 30% in interest may entirely drain your monthly income. Try to pay off the debts first. And after you're out, stay out. You will feel like a completely different person when you owe money to no one. Before our number 1 pick, here's an extra money mistake to avoid: useless spending. Have you ever gotten in a situation where you head to a grocery store, perhaps to grab some noodles and zucchini, and end up having a whole shopping cart full of stuff? While this may be perfectly relatable, it is absolutely a mistake to avoid. It all looks good in the store, but once you get home, you'll be asking yourself, why did I even get this? To stop yourself from doing this, there is a really cool trick to consider always: a grocery list. Try to write down every single thing you need at home, and once you get to the store, ignore all the other things. Number 1, you don't learn to say no. If you've ever seen the movie Yes Man, then you must learn from it to never, ever become the yes man. It's not about becoming a grumpy and lame employee who complains about everything, but just learn to say no when it's needed. Parties, going out to eat with friends, buying stuff to impress others, buying new cars too often. Just say no. See it this way: every no you say is some cash that you save. So be a savior. Did you find a bad spending habit on your list that you have? What are some other money mistakes that you see people make? Let us know in the comments. That's all for this video. If you find this helpful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content just like this.